everyone, it's your boy Saby Baby, and I'm here live, gonna do some live blending for you. Today we'll be making a men's tropical woody summer fragrance. And yeah, let's get to it. So, I made a couple of chords for this fragrance from what's Unguentarius, or I don't know how you say it. Yeah, unguentarius.com. They've got a couple 8-liners on there. One of them's like a 1 million style accord or something like that. And one of them is called Poolside Academy. So I'll be using a couple of those as accords in this fragrance. Poolside Academy smells like you're sitting next to a pool. Very heavy on the aquatics. Almost smells chlorinic. And then a big strong dose of oak moss. So it's like they based it on a Calone and Veramos. Jean Carl's whatever. And that's what they came up with. And it smells pretty nice. And then the 1 million one, I'm assuming it's supposed to smell like 1 million, the fragrance. Very woody. So I'm using the 1 million as my wood accord for the fragrance. And the Poolside Alchemy as my aquatic part of the fragrance. And on top of that, we've also got some fruity materials and some coconut. And then for the kind of floral mids, I used just Florosa because I want to keep it straight to the point. I don't want any like florals disrupting the balance, but I want a little bit of floral push in there. So I don't know who's watching, but thanks for watching. And let's get to it. We will start blending. I'm gonna start with my ISO-E Super as always. Get out my bottle here. Should have had it set up already, but we're doing this on the fly today. So we're gonna do 2.5 grams. We're gonna be doing a 10 gram fragrance concentrate today. We'll be using 2.5 grams of ISO-E Super for a 25% concentration. ISO-E Super is a woody, amber, very diffusive, very popular. It's like a building block, workhorse material. And yeah, go ahead and like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. Help me grow the channel. I haven't been perfuming much lately just because I didn't get much traction on any of my other videos. But yeah, the people who do watch seem to enjoy it. So if you guys are into perfumery, please give it a like, share, comment, whatever the stuff is. Help me grow the channel, guys. So we're at 2.2. I usually share my formulas, but yeah, I don't want to set up all the GoPro on that today. We're just in a rush. All right, so that's our ISO-E Super. Next, we're gonna have our Hedione HC, which is our, it's another workhorse material. It's a jasmine note, very diffusive. It's a good blender. It's not very prominent though. And we're gonna do 1.2 grams for a 12% fragrance concentrate. And this is just gonna be part of our building blocks for the whole fragrance. Then we're gonna decorate it with our accords. And then finish with our fruity notes. We got some coconut, we've got some mango, we got some pineapple, got some rum ether in there. I want to make it like a boozy, tropical men's summer fragrance. So we've got our 1.2 grams of Hedyon HC. Next, we're going to add our poolside alchemy that we had talked about previously. Yes, I'm making perfume. Enigmata fact checker. What are you not clear about? How hard would you say it is to make perfume that you like? It's pretty hard. It took a long time. I've been doing it for like 6 years now. And a lot of it was just test trials. Takes a while to actually understand what you're doing. So now we're going to add 2 grams of this Poolside Academy Accord that we got from Unguentarius. And thank you to my listener or watcher who has been with me for a long time. I appreciate your support. So this will be making up 20% of the fragrance here. This is our Poolside Academy Accord, which was themed around Calone and Veramos. And there's a bunch of other stuff in there too, but the main part of this was Calone and Cascalone, Veramos. I don't really remember what else was in there, but there's at least 8 other things. But this is like our aquatic accord for the fragrance. And yeah, we're gonna go to 2 grams for 20% concentrate. All right, so there we've got our 2 grams. Hello, Kim Jones, and thank you, James Darnley. All right. So next we're gonna add the Florosa, which is one of my favorite floral notes just because you can use it in any fragrance and it's not really gonna sway the outcome of it. It's just gonna add a floral background to your fragrance. Florosa, also known as Florisol or Floral Pyranol. And we'll be using that at a let me see here, 0.21 grams, approximately 2.1% of the fragrance concentrate. And it just adds a nice floral note without really leading it to any one side. So this will just kind of make it smell like a tropical floral. It just adds like a floral diffusive note to it. Makes it smell like a field of flowers, kind of. All right, next on the list, we have our 1 million accord. Also from Unguentarius, UNGUENTARIUS.com is the name of the website if you want to check it out. They got a lot of statistics on there and stuff like that. What's some of your favorite fragrances? I would say Paco Rabanne 1 Million Lucky. That's kind of what made me want to make this 1 million accord here. I'm not sure if it even has anything to do with it, but I would assume. But the original Paco Rabanne 1 Million Lucky was one of my favorites. And I know that there's a note in there called Caranal or something like that they had to omit from the modern or the most recent iterations of it. So the bottle has been reformulated. And I have that note in my organ, but I think that it was restricted for like reproductive reasons. So yeah, any men out there trying to make babies, be careful. So we're using this at 6.1% of the fragrance for this 10 gram sample, 0.61 grams. Some more of my favorites are like Hugo Boss 1 or I don't remember, but I've been making fragrances so long, I typically just wear my own stuff now. I feel like I'm slapping myself in the face anytime I put on something else that someone else has made. Pushes me to work harder. Okay, so next we're gonna add some vanillin crystals. Give it a little bit of sweetness. I feel like tropical notes and booze go good with vanilla, so that's what we're gonna do. And we'll be using vanillin crystals, and we're only doing 1% of the fragrance. So I like to put a sticky note or a piece of paper or some type of deal on the scale and weigh it separately instead of trying to weigh it straight into the trial. That way, if you go over, you can take some out or put more and not worry about overdosing your bottle. So we're gonna aim for 1.1 grams of vanillin extract. Oh shoot. And that's why we do it on a piece of paper, because just that little bit was 0.2 grams. So yeah, I almost doubled the amount that I meant to put in the fragrance. And I like to use a test strip and bend it kind of like that as my paddle. That's crazy. I did not think that would weigh that much. All right, we're at 0.124, just a little more out. 0.116, I didn't see my... 0.109. 0.102, that'll do it. Sorry about that, guys. All right, now we're gonna add this to our bottle. I like to do my powdery materials first because if your paper touches the glass, then it sticks to the paper on the edge there, as you can't really see, but I'll show you when I'm done. Pour it out of the other side. So the paper gets kind of wet. You probably can't see it. My phone sucks. Anyways, yeah, I like to weigh my solids first. All right, but I think that's the only solid or powder or crystal that I have in this fragrance. So we're gonna move on. Next, we have a tobacco accord. Let's see, here it is. So I would typically use a tobacco absolute, but my budget has been a little tight. And that smells really freaking good, actually. So we're gonna try this out, see how it goes. We're gonna use 1% of the fragrance, or 0.1 grams of a 10 gram formula. These are all 100% strength. So far anyway. I believe I have one 10% diluted material, and that's methyl liatone, which is a coconut note that we'll add later. So yeah, we've got some vanilla, some tobacco, and some tonka. We're gonna use a tonka bean accord as well. I could use straight coumarin, but I've got so much of this tonka bean accord that I've had for a long time, so I just want to use it up. So that was 0.1 grams of tobacco accord. Next, we're going to do another 0.1 gram of this tonka bean accord. And that's another sweet note. Here we go, got our 0.1 grams. We're building our base right now. The Fluorosa was kind of a mid note, but I added a little preemptively. Okay, next on the list, we've got a leather key accord. So yeah, tonka, vanilla. What else was in there? Whatever. Now we're gonna add some leather note to it. And this is a leather key accord from Perfumer's Apprentice. I really like it. And we're also gonna add 1% of the fragrance leather. And this smells like you walked into a leather shop. It's a really good accord. It's heavy in saffronol, I bet. Probably suederol. I really like leather notes. Very manly. Okay, next on the list. So I kind of wrote this formula a little funky. I should have went all base notes first, but as I was writing it, we got some top notes coming up, which you should typically wait for later. But we're going to move on to our black pepper. And I have that dosed at a 1.5%. So we're going to do that. 0.15 grams of black pepper essential oil coming up. Black pepper. I have two different batches here, two different lots. One of them is much darker. As you can see here, one has a yellow tint to it. One's completely clear. So hopefully they smell similar. But I think I should be able to polish off the rest of this little bottle here without breaking into my new batch. So we're gonna add some spicy notes to it. Should go good with the men's aquatic stuff and help balance out too much of the sweetness from the fruits that we'll be adding. We want to keep it manly. So next we've got ginger CO2, one of my favorite materials that I own. And where do I have you? I have them all over here. Where'd you go, ginger? Here we are. So the ginger I have is from Eden Botanicals, one of my favorite suppliers. And this smells just like fresh ground or fresh grated ginger. We're gonna do 2% of the fragrance. Very dark material here. And just double checking, yep, 0.2 grams. And this is also a top note, I believe, so it'll be one of the initial blasts that we get. And it just goes well with oceanic summer style fragrances. I don't know, honestly, how it's gonna pair with the fruits, but I think that pineapple and ginger will smell well together. So next on my formula list is Calone, and that is a 10% dilution. So I gotta switch this in my formula. It will be 0.47 grams. Where are you at? Right here. And that's a 10% dilution in DPG, dipropylene glycol. Thank you guys for watching. Please give it a like, all that good stuff. Help me grow the channel. Feels like a big waste of time uploading when hardly anybody watches this stuff. I got a couple diehards out there, but yeah. And Calone is a watermelon ketone. It's a fruity aquatic material. It's very popular in men's fragrances of like the 90s, you know, cool water, all that stuff. What did I say? 0.47. Okay, one more drop. Yeah, I have another material called Cascalone, which is super nice, but it's, I got a feeling it's a little stronger. Maybe it's only stronger because they have it in 100% strength, but it's like a more elegant version of Calone. Okay, next we're gonna add Pineapple Natural by Roberte, however you fancy. Where are you at? I know I pulled you out. Here we are, Pineapple Essence. And this one is like the most realistic pineapple smell I have. It's super juicy. It smells just like a fresh cut pineapple. But we're also gonna add some other pineapple notes later. And we're gonna do 2% of the fragrance of this. 0.2 grams. And I love this note. One of my favorites. One of my favorite fruity materials. My lid sucks on this thing. I gotta be careful when I put this away, make sure it doesn't spill. All right. Okay, next we have allyl-amyl glycolate. This is another pineapple material. And this was super popular in like Creative Ventus. And we will be using 0.2 grams of this as well. It's like a sharp, kind of metallic pineapple note. Kind of smells more like a canned pineapple. Almost a little ambery in my opinion as well. All right, we've got our 0.2 grams. And I may need to change my glove because somewhere along the line I can feel some oil on my fingers here. I don't want to contaminate all my lids. All right, quick switch. Thanks for watching. Drop some comments. I will get to them. So today, if you're just joining, we're making a men's woody, tropical, boozy summer fragrance. And we are about halfway through the fragrance blending. Next, we're gonna add a fougere accord. And this is made by Creating Perfumes. This is gonna give us our, you know, our classical fougere theme to the fragrance, and I don't want it to smell like an old man's barbershop. So this is just gonna give us our, you know, heart to it. But I don't want it to overpower it and smell old man, so we're gonna give it 0.5 grams for a 5% concentrate. Hopefully this doesn't ruin it. Honestly, that might be still dosed high. And fougeres are supposed to smell like a fern, so like kind of like a foresty vibe. We've already got some wood notes in there with our 1 million accord. It had a bunch of norlimbanol and cedramber. One more drop. Okay. So there's our fougere accord edition. Let's give it a whiff, see what it smells like so far. That smells really nice, actually. Fruity, woody, creamy. We've still got more to go. Okay. So now we're gonna add some cardamom essential oil. And this note for me, it's very strong and it can overtake an entire fragrance without much, doesn't take much to overpower fragrance. I'll just say that. But I wanted to keep it a little spicy, so it's not just completely drowned out with fruits. I don't want it to be too fruity that doesn't smell masculine anymore. So we're gonna add 0.16 grams of cardamom essential oil for about a 1.6 fragrance concentrate. And if you've cooked it all, you know what cardamom smells like, so I'm not gonna go into it. It's very prominent in Indian cuisine, which is one of my favorites. All right, moving on. So next we're gonna add a mango accord, and I pushed this quite heavy because mango is just kind of unique. Where are you at? Did I not pull you out? Oh. No. Okay, I might have to dig into my stash to get out my mango accord because I don't think I pulled it. So bear with me one moment, guys. All right, where's my fruit spin? Fruits. Mango. All right, that didn't take long. So this is also by Robert T, however you say it. It's very juicy. Smells more like a candied Mexican mango, but it doesn't smell like cat piss. A lot of mango smells like cat piss. This one smells mucho nice. Mucho mango, like Arizona tea. Hope you guys can hear me okay. I'm not using a microphone today. It's my iPhone. The audio is probably horrible. All right, there we have it. 5% Mango Natural by Robert T. Okay, so we added a little more to the fruity base. Feel free to drop some comments if you guys got any questions. Next, we're gonna add some dihydromercenol, which is another note very prominent in men's aquatic fragrances. Cool water, green Irish tweed, all that good stuff. And it's a woody, pineapple, citrus, not pineapple, I would say woody, maybe bergamot, pine type vibe. And we're going to add 0.28 grams. It almost kind of smells like pine sol if you overdose it, or a cleaner, so you want to keep it somewhat low. Did I say 0.28? Yeah, 0.28 grams of our 10-gram sample. It's actually a little bit more than 0.28 grams because I started adding a few more decorations after I got to my 10-gram point. So it's actually 10.64 grams is what the total fragrance concentrate should weigh approximately after we got all of our materials. Our next note on the list is aliocaproate. That's another fruity pineapple type note. So we're just adding to our pineapple vibe. This one's a little a little more bitter of a pineapple smell. And we're gonna add 0.15 grams of this. Allyl-caproate. And for the ones that are hard to spell or pronounce, allyl-amyl. Oh wait, fuck! I just double dosed it. No, no. Well, I made a mistake, guys. I just double dosed. Oh, that smells good though. Sheesh. All right, well, we've had a mistake. I just added another 0.15 grams of allyl-amyl glycolate. So now we've got 0.35 grams in the fragrance. I'm gonna look over something. Allyl-amyl glycolate. I wanna see if I just ruined it. Check a dosing chart. Allyl-amyl glycolate. Now it looks like you can go up to 4.5% of your fragrance with this stuff. So I'm at about 3.5 right now. We should be fine. But yeah, we're a little bit over what I wanted. But we should be within range that we didn't ruin anything. Okay, so I've noted that in my formula. Now we're gonna add the right material, which is allyl-caproate. Allyl-caproate. And this is much sweeter, less bitter than the other one. All right, so this one's gonna be 0.15 grams, 1.5%. And you know what? These things happen. Sometimes that's how magic is made. You accidentally overdose something and it becomes one of your greatest creations. So we're not going to sweat it. Next, we're going to add our rum ether. I almost wonder if I want to push this a little more. I have it at 2%. Do some research real quick. I should have done this. I've already done it before, but I want to see what other people are dosing their rum ether at. I have it at 2%. I feel like that's good. So we're just going to see. Let's see what Perfumer's World says about rum ether. They say their average dosage is 5% or 0.5. Maximum of 5%. So I have it at 2%. That should be plenty. I don't want to push it too much. So we're going to add some rum ether from Perfumer's Apprentice. And this is a kind of somewhat smoky material. I just touched my nose to the glass. This is very smoky. Doesn't smell much like rum. To me, it smells like birch tar, so kind of skeptical about adding this, honestly. It doesn't smell like your typical rum ether. I've had other rum ethers that smell more boozy. This one just smells like a smoked barrel. So whatever, we're gonna add it and hope that it doesn't just overpower with smoke instead of booze. So we got our 2% of rum ether. Okay, what's our next material? Yeah, I'm not sure about this one. If I wanted a smoky note, I would have just added birch tar. Next, we have Ultrazur. We're getting down to the end of it, guys. Ultrazur is a very powerful It's a very powerful aquatic sporty note. So we're only going to use 0.5% of the fragrance with this bad boy. And this is, you got to be careful dosing this one too. About 3 drops for a 10-gram concentrate. If you guys aren't using a scale for your perfumery, you're slipping. Get yourself a lab scale that weighs down to the 0.000 of a gram. Okay, next we have, oh, you know what? I didn't grab this one either. I need to grab my bergamot, guys. I will be right back, I believe. Yep, I don't have it. Okay, one sec. Okay, I'm back. So while I was out there, I also grabbed some Tobacco Absolute. It's a 5% dilution, so honestly, kind of don't want to add it, but we're going to do it just to give it some more of the natural tobacco. How is my concentrate so low? It says I'm sitting at a 7.5 or 75% concent. Oh, no, that's wrong. Okay. So my formula was messed up a little bit. My ISOE Super said it was a 10% dilution. It was not. We're going to add our 0.5 grams of bergamot now. About 5% bergamot. Give it a little citrus push in the top. All right. And this is bergamot from Italy. Terpene free. And I keep that in the fridge. I keep all my citruses inside in the fridge. That's why I had to run in there real quick. As well as my absolutes. So I have a 5%. I'm going to add 1% of this 5% dilution of Tobacco Absolute as well. Tobacco Absolute. 5%. 0.1. So that'll be... Man, that's just a lot of dilution to add to the concentrate. So we'll do, what is that, 5 grams? Oh no, 0.25. 0.25. 0.2. What in the world? 2 grams. Sorry, guys. So yeah, we're gonna add 2 grams of this Tobacco Absolute as well. And that's gonna put us it's a 5% dilution, and 2 grams will put us at 0.096% of the fragrance. So we're just gonna kind of balance out the naturals with the synthetic. Go. Got our 2 grams of tobacco. All right, now we can continue. So now we're gonna add some methyliatone. We're gonna add a coconut accord now, but we're gonna build it ourselves. And I recently got this material called methyliatone, liatone, I don't know how you pronounce it, L-A-I-T-O-N-E, liatone. And it smells like coconut milk. I really like it. We're gonna add let me double check. This is a 10% dilution, so we're gonna add 0.38 grams. And give it just a little bit of a coconutty vibe to it. Kind of like a pina colada. Crap. We're a little bit over. And that was methyliatone. Woo! All right, next we're gonna add some amber extreme. We're gonna make this shit extreme, brother. So this is a amber note that's very diffusive, very strong. If you walk into Macy's, it's one of those notes that just hits you in the face right when you walk in. Any of those like department commercial fragrances. We're gonna add 0.5%. So about 2 drops. Well, we're sitting at 0.4, so if I put another one, it might push us over the hill. We'll call it there. Mark that in the formula, 0.04. All right, next. One time I spilled some of this on my scale and cleaned it with perfumer's alcohol. And my wife came home and was like, "What in the world is that? You need to move this shit to your mom's house." And I was like, "Nope, ain't happening. I made a mistake. Never do it again." All right, next on the list we have gamma octolactone. This is another coconut note. And to me, this one smells like sunscreen, like beach bum sunscreen if you overdose it. So we're gonna go 0.88% of the fragrance. And this is just another coconutty note, but it's very fatty, but not milky. And that's why we added the liatone. And the vanilla should help this smell a little bit more realistic too. Okay, and we're also gonna add some aldehyde C18, so-called coconut. And we're only gonna add 0.25% of the fragrance, or however close we can get to it. So that might be 1 drop, it might be 2. Let's see what 1 drop weighs. 1.7, screw it, I'm gonna go 1 more. 0.35. Close enough. A little bit over, not too worried about it. Okay. All right, and that will do it. Let's give it a little swirl and sniff. If you like pina coladas and getting caught in the rain, this is the fragrance for you right here. Thanks for watching, guys. It smells pretty darn good. As far as I can tell, we're pretty close to what I was imagining. But it's way too soon to tell. We won't know for a couple weeks. And even then we only get to dilute it. So this will have to mature and macerate for a couple weeks before we can actually dilute it. But right now I will just give it a swirl, dip it in a scent strip, drop some alcohol on it and tell you how it smells. You don't want to shake it too much because then you're aerating your fragrance, which you don't want to do. So you kind of just want to swirl it. If possible, you want to blend in a mixing flask actually, but I'm not doing a super large batch here, so we're just going to do it in this bad boy. So let's dip it into a scent strip, see what we're working with. We'll label that. And that smells pretty darn good, if I say so myself, without adding any alcohol yet. So, you know what? That was my creatine. All right. So we're just going to put a couple drops of this onto here. So it'll diffuse a bit. Shake it off. And that's pretty damn good. It's not going to be exactly how it smells, obviously, because it still has to mature and all that crap. But it's nice and fruity. And so the pineapple and the mango and the coconut seem to have mixed well with the vanilla and the woody notes and the aquatics. And it's giving me like a nice tropical woody vibe. And it smells manly. It almost smells like there's a tiny bit of mint in there, but there's not. It must be the spices from like the ginger and the pepper. But yeah, I'm really excited to see how this matures. I'm pretty happy with it, but it's, like I said, it's way too soon to tell. But it's got a good, it's not too sweet. The amber aquatics aren't too strong, and the fruits aren't like feminizing it too much either. So yeah, pretty happy with it. But yeah, this is just the first trial, so I'll let you guys know how it goes after I dilute it in a few weeks. Even then, it could take up to a month to actually know what this is going to smell like. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Thank you everybody who's tuned in. Give me a like, a subscribe, a share, do all that fun stuff for me. Help me grow this channel. Comment if you would. All the comments, all that stuff keeps me going. Yeah, it's just kind of, I don't know. It's like I put a lot of work. I used to put a lot of work into this stuff, and I was getting like 40 views a video, 12 views. So any support you guys give me just gives me extra motivation to keep this thing going. I also got a TikTok out there, perfumery with Sabin or by Sabin. I think it's perfumery _ Sabin, SABIN. Give me a follow on there. Go check my stuff out. I'm going to try and post some more videos in the future. I've got a bunch of stuff up here that I've been waiting to review for you guys. I just wanted to build up some stuff. before I do it. So anyways, thank you guys. Peace out. As always, smell you later. What is that? It's gray hairs. Peace. How do I end this thing? Thank you. Aditya Raga. I can't pronounce it. I'm sorry, man. But I appreciate you.